Sludge, do buckaroos, how the heck are you? I was having some issues getting this going, but nevertheless, we persevere, man. How the heck are you? I am Tom the Whiskey Whisperer. At least for the purposes of this particular video. Let me try to get things set up here. Let me check something real quick, guys. There we go. All right, get that fixed real quick. Whoops, wrong button. Ah. Well, it's not letting me fix it, darn it. Oh, there we go. There we go. Now we're in business. Anyways, how the heck are you? I am Tom the Whiskey Whisperer, at least for the purposes of this video. Oh, it's gorgeous. So the first cocktail I have is a Manhattan, a classic cocktail. There's not a lot of wiggle room with the Manhattan. No, there's not a lot of wiggle room. Not a lot of wiggle room. So you got your whiskey, you got your sweet vermouth, and you got your bitters, and that's it. That's why it's a classic cocktail. I think that's what frustrates me the most about nouveau bartenders. I don't know why they think everything has to have 20, 30 ingredients in it. You don't have to have 10 liqueurs and 20 fruit juices to make a fucking cocktail. There's a reason why cocktails are classics for a reason. This is a classic because it has 3 ingredients. 4 if you include the garnish. Anyway, in this particular case, I'm using the Rocktown Column Still Collection single barrel cask strength straight bourbon whiskey. And there we go. Let me show you how beautiful that cocktail looks. So here's what I got in here. I've got this bourbon. I've got sweet vermouth, but I changed it up with the bitters a little bit. I didn't use traditional Angostura, but I used 2 because I was trying to combine a couple different flavors going on. I added the cardamom bitters to put a little spice in there, but I also used the cherry bitters to balance it. Kind of my own little spin here. Because here's the thing, man. Here's the thing, baby. You never know unless you try. So you got. I'm a big believer in just playing around. Yeah, keep the cocktail simple, but don't be afraid to try different ingredients because you never know what's going to work until you try. It's not that I have a fundamental issue with the traditional Angostura bitters or even orange bitters that are in most old fashions. But my thing is, there's a lot of bitters out there. So there's a lot of ways you can take that cocktail just by changing up the bitters. And that's what I'm a fan of. Looking forward to my vacation here shortly. I'm really short time with that. I haven't had a vacation like this in I don't know how many years actually. I was going to say more than 5, but it's been longer than that. There's a lot of reasons, there's a lot of things there that kept us from doing something grand like this. So I'm really looking forward to it because, like I said, we've really never done anything like this, especially just the 2 of us. To get away, to go to an area with that neither one of us have been to before, kind of explore and do the things we both want to do. So I'm getting more excited the more, the closer we get. Reaching out to my friends that are unfortunately I don't have any friends that are directly in Columbus, but I've got a few friends in Ohio that are within a couple hours drive. So I'm hoping we can figure something out. I mean, even if I've got to meet them at some point, that'd be fine with me too. Because I hate to get that close and not to meet up with some folks. You know what I mean? There's just so many great breweries. Well, I say great, the ratings wise, but there are just so many breweries in Columbus, Ohio that I've never been to. And I've had beers from Columbus Brewing and I've had beers from Jackie O's. But when I started researching that area, there are just I mean, there's just a ton of breweries in that area, man. That most of them that I'd never heard of before, and I consider myself a pretty, you know, knowledgeable craft beer guy. I mean, I don't look at just the breweries in my area. I try to find breweries in other places, but man, there's a lot of them that I wasn't familiar with, and that doesn't happen often, man. But I'm really looking forward to getting out there. For a lot of reasons. Again, because we've never been there before, because it's just the two of us doing something different, getting out of our comfort zone, a little bit. It'll be a lot of fun. And in the past, I've taken vacations because I just needed to get away, right? That work stress, just got to get the hell out of that place. But I don't really have that, to be honest with you. I don't have that big work stress. It's not that I need to get on vacation because of work. It's just I just need a little break, right? My wife and I haven't done anything like this before. It's our 30th anniversary, so I felt like, yeah, let's just do something a little different. But she's the one that picked Columbus. And I'm okay with that because as soon as she mentioned Columbus, I thought to myself, huh, I happen to know there's a lot of craft breweries in that neck of the woods. Okay. She actually found us the hotel too, the Brew Dog there just south of Columbus. So really looking forward to that as well. So it's almost like she's taking me on my ideal craft beer vacation for our 30th anniversary. So, anyways, wait a minute. Yeah, there was all those moments. Don't tease me if you don't mean it. Are you sure you want to do this? uh, the Manhattan. The Manhattan is my absolute favorite cocktail. I've had several versions of it out. The only two that really stand out to me, well, three, but two from one place. So the only Manhattans that really stand out to me, in all honesty, are Tomstown. Tomstown in Kansas City did an amazing Manhattan, man. I believe they used their Pendergast Royal Gold bourbon in that. But the other one that's in that same neck of the woods is the Moonrise Hotel on the Del Mar Loop in St. Louis. I don't remember what bourbon they used though. In all honesty, I just don't. But they do a month old and a year old, and oh shit, biscuits. That stuff is insane, man. So the month old, you can only buy the month old in there. You got to go up top, baby, and they're on the rooftop bar. The year old you can only buy downstairs though, so they have you got to go to both places to get the right cocktail. But those are the best Manhattans I've ever had out. Got to stop thinking, but I plan on trying a few when we I've always been more of a Manhattan guy than old fashioned, but places seem to want to focus on old fashions these days. So I tend to, especially on vacation, try to order more. But I always look to see if they've got a signature Manhattan, and that's what I will order out. One of the distilleries in the area does a thieved old fashioned, which means it's straight out of the barrel. They whiskey thieved the whiskey. right out of the barrel to make your old fashioned. I mean, that's the next level. I really want to try that one. Not 100% sure I'll get there though. Like I said, I've made a lot of notations, little places that are there, but I know we're not going to get to all of them. It just kind of depends what neighborhoods we end up in. And well, I mean, most importantly, I mean, it's not about me, right? I want to make sure my wife gets the place she wants to go. So I've kind of mapped where all my breweries are. So I want her to find the stores, and we'll find where my breweries are around there. About you. Yeah, that's a incredible Manhattan. Ugh. But now we're less than a month away, man. Well, we've always had other things going on and pets and this and that and the other, so we can only go away for 2 or 3 days at a time. This time we can be gone. This first time we ever stayed 5 nights in one particular place. Yeah, I'm very excited about the whole brew dog thing and experience. I've heard every time I mention to a friend that this is what we're going to do. I've never heard anybody that's ever been there says nothing but positive things about. It, so I'm very excited about that. And again, my wife found that. That's the kind of wife I have. Anyways, I digress. I got the itch, but I ain't got the scratch. Damn, that might be the most brilliant lyric of all time. That's just genius right there. That is. How did I not think of that? Anyway, I got the itch, but I ain't got the scratch. Fuck, that's brilliant. anyway, anyways, I digress. Merce, I'm gonna finish this off. I'm gonna grab cocktail number 2 for you. All right, I'm back with cocktail number 2. Other than the fact this is sort of straight up, looks like you would have a Manhattan. It is basically an old fashioned, but nevertheless, some think you have to. Old fashioned has to be with the big cube, huh? So here's what I got here. I've got a homemade grapefruit lemon simple syrup. Grapefruit. Oh, wrong bitters. Where's my grapefruit? I had my grapefruit bitters here. So anyways, grapefruit bitters. So I got the whiskey, the grapefruit lemon simple syrup, grapefruit bitters, and so call it whatever you want to. Put together like an old fashioned, but served like a Manhattan. Oh, that tastes like summer, baby. Let's serve with. Well, I use this whiskey, and again, my house made, my homemade simple syrup with fresh grapefruit and lemon. Get the scratch. So, what makes it closer to an old fashioned, Tom, or a Manhattan? Well, it's close to an old fashioned because I'm using the simple syrup and not the sweet vermouth. But some might lean towards the other because I am using some grapefruit bitters in there. So it is closer to an old fashioned, in my opinion, but I do prefer the straight up serving, especially as we start to wind down and we head more into fall months. I tend to not want ice. And that's kind of my issue with an old fashioned. Other than everybody that serves it out, it serves it way too freaking sweet. That's why I'm very careful with mine that I develop. I don't want it to be too sweet. But I worked. I put a lot of time into that grapefruit syrup because I wanted it. I wanted you to taste a little bit of that sweetness, but I didn't want it to be overly sweet. I really wanted you to feel that grapefruit. So I feel like I got it right. I had a friend tell me just the other day that they like my simple syrups because they tell I put a lot of love into it. I put a lot of time. Yeah, I do. I really, for me, it's a labor of love. I love the fact that I can and do this now. It's kind of the thing I've always wanted to do, and now I can. I always felt like my inner bartender needed to come, but it never quite revealed itself until I was 58 years old. So now at 59, here I am inventing cocktails. Well, inventing is a strong word. It's more, but the cocktails I do, to be honest with you, are more of a variation on a theme, right? Almost everything I do is a riff of a Manhattan or an old fashioned or a classic highball for that matter. Just my version of those classic cocktails. Like I said, I'm not trying to reinvent the wheel here. I'm just trying to put some great stuff out there. When these quality stuff, maybe quality is a better word to use. I want to put quality out there. I'm not buying syrups. I'm using my fresh made house syrups. Oh man, this thing is brilliant. That's an all nighter right there, man. Yeah, that's brilliant. I love the way that syrup is crazy. So here's the thing: I put this syrup together. In all honesty, now I'll tell you the truth. That I put the syrup together to do a Collins. It's basically a Collins mix: it's grapefruit and lemon. I wanted to do the perfect Collins mix. Some do just lemon, but for me, a Collins needs a little bit of that grapefruit. And there are some, cheaper establishments that have used Squirt, which is a, grapefruit soda, but nevertheless. So here's what I did: is I did this fresh grapefruit, lemon, simple syrup, with either the gin or vodka, the for a Tom or vodka Collins, and then a little bit of club soda on top. But even then, as I made that syrup, I was thinking, I bet that'd make a very nice old fashioned too. And I want to put it on the menu, but I'm thinking, grapefruit, just add the grapefruit bitters, and it'll be a nice old fashioned. So it's kind of what I did here. But again, I just didn't want to serve it on ice. I just wanted to get it chilled, serve it more like a Manhattan. It used to be back in the day, a lot of places would ask you, even if you ordered a Manhattan or an old fashioned, you want it straight up or on the rocks. I've always been a straight up guy for whatever cocktail I'm ordering, but I understand that a lot of folks like the rocks. Return of the Queen. Anyways, I digress. I am Tom the Whiskey Whisperer, Whiskey Evangelist, prolific whiskey drinker, purveyor, wisdom, and all right, good guys, lunch you.